What is up, everybody? Nordschlife here, back with another video of Project Cars 2. And in this video, we are going to be comparing LMP1 or LMP prototypes, Le Mans prototypes from various classes from various years on the Sonoma Raceway in Sonoma, California. So the first one I tried was the LMP2 car. This is the Ligier. I forget the name of the actual car, but still Ligier LMP2. The lap is 127.38, the Honda engine. So without further ado, I will show you that lap. Alright, so next car I chose was the Porsche 962 Group C car, and oh my god, I just did the lap and it is an absolute menace to drive. I'm not even joking. It took me like probably 3 or 4 tries to get this lap down, and it's still not as fast as it could have been. Oh my god, I'm out of breath. My gosh, it's just crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna send you guys to the lap. Yeah, and then we'll move on to the modern, or to the GT1 cars. Alrighty, the next one we did was the McLaren F1 Speedtail. I think that's what it is in the GT1 class. It is, as you can see, much slower than the Group C and the modern LMP2 car, which were in the high 120s. The Group C was around was a 128 point something, and the LMP2 was a 127 points. This one's a 132.68. So not very fast, but also a lot easier to handle than the Group C, obviously, because it was newer. This was around the 90s. Anyway, enough talking. Let's get to the lap. Alright everybody, enough playing around. We are in time trial mode now. We did our first LMP1 lap. We are going to test all 9 LMP1 cars I think there are in the time trials. And the first one is the RWD P30 LMP1. And that time was a 1:20.259. So let's see the lap. Alright everybody, now we have finally broken past 120. We are in the 118s now, 118.460 from the Merrick RP339 LMP1 car. I personally really liked this one when I first played this game. Really fun to drive, a lot easier to see through. The RWD was very, very hard to see through. Just because you're like low and back. This one is more natural. Anyway, enough chit-chatting. Let's get on with the lap. So, we've reached the real-life LMP1 cars. The first one we tried is the Toyota TS040 Hybrid. I was surprised, even by pushing as hard as I could with this car, that it was in fact slower by 0.5, almost half a second, than the Merrick, which is very surprising. So that means the Merrick is faster than this one. But the lap, nonetheless, is very, very fun to watch. It grips really well in the corners. This track is bumpy, so it can step out a little bit. But, yeah, here is the lap. Alright, so I had forgotten to record the Audi R18, both the 2014 one and the 2016 one. Here is the time for the Audi R18 e-tron Quattro from 2016. It is a 1:18.7, which is yet again slower than the Merrick. I can't seem to get anywhere near the Merrick's time. I was on some other level with that lap, so we're going to move on to the TS050 and the Porsche 918 Hybrid. True Toyota fashion, the TS050 finally broke 17. We have a 117.119 coming out of this monster of an LMP1 car. I don't know what it is, man. This car is just so fast. It always blows my mind how quick it is. Oh boy, this track is tough. It took me ages to get that lap out. Here we are. I was in the low 18s, but now we are in the low 17s, finally. So, let's see that lap. Alright everybody, we've reached the end of our challenge. So I am getting really tired driving this track with all these LMP1 cars, these very fast prototype Le Mans prototype, top class Le Mans. And so we're going to end it with the one and only Porsche 919 Hybrid. As you can see, it actually did not beat the Toyota TS050, meaning that the Toyota is the winner for today's challenge with a lap time of 117.119. This one had a 117.4, so like 0.3 slower. I honestly think I can bring this car faster, but I'm just, like I said, getting really tired. It is really demanding this circuit. So I will leave you all with this final lap with the Porsche 919 Hybrid. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the challenge for today. If you all enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you all in the next video. Bye-bye.